Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Aaron Kraft, Weichert Realtors Unlimited. Just coming to you today to talk about how much money do you really need in order to buy a home. So to answer this question, I want to give you a quote from one of my favorite movies called It's a Wonderful Life. Old classic around Christmas time. It's a good one to watch. But in that movie, there's a scene where good old George Bailey is talking to the mean old Mr. Potter, and he says on there where Mr. Potter said they needed to wait in order to buy a home, and he says, wait for what? Until their children grow up and leave them? Until they're so old and broken down that they just can't? So do you know how long it takes a working man to save $5,000? Back then, certainly that was a lot of money. But just remember this, Mr. Potter, this rabble you're talking about, they do most of the working and playing and dying in this town. And then that's true for us as well today, right? So if you're out there and you're like, I'm working hard, I want to be able to buy a house, can I do that now? The answer is probably yes. There's a lot of good options out there. Of course, it will depend on your credit history and those kind of things, but let's talk about how much money down you might need. So there are a couple of good options that actually you have to bring zero down. There's a VA loan for veterans. If you're a veteran, you might qualify for that, where you could actually come to the table with as little as zero down. USDA loans will qualify for 100% financing as well. And so there's some great housing assistance programs in our area that you might be able to utilize as well. So the easy answer there is it might be as little as zero, but I do want to give you a realistic answer for everyone else who's looking at, okay, maybe zero, but how much do I really need? So you have to include all of the actual closing costs when you consider this, and it's roughly around 2 to 3% of the purchase price on your actual costs for your loan fees, your appraisals, your inspections, attorney's fees, things like that, surveys, all that would come into play. And so it varies depending on the kind of loan product you're looking at, but maybe in that 2 to 3% range would be your closing costs, and that'd be in addition to the down payment. So the down payment could be as much as 100%, of course, if you're paying cash, in which case your closing costs might be just $1,500, $2,000 on a cash deal. On a finance deal, most people would do a 20% down, 10% down, 5% down, and 3.5% down is very popular as well, especially with like FHA loans, things like that. So you say you're putting 5% down, and then you would add your closing costs to that of roughly, say, 3% of the purchase price. It's like, okay, Aaron, but how about actual numbers? Well, your loan officer by law has to give you an actual statement that gives a really good guesstimate of what those costs are. So if you get pre-approved, we'll actually be able to tell you within a very small window of what your actual closing costs would be for that particular loan. So it's a very good question that a lot of new buyers ask, how much money do I need? But we're doing this video today just so that you know it may be as little as zero. We can ask the sellers to pay your closing costs for you as part of the offer. And so it really can be zero. There are several transactions that I've been a part of where the buyer actually walks away with a few bucks, $100 here, $200 there from being paid back on some appraisal fees and things like that. So it's very possible that you can get in with very little down. So if you're interested in learning more, please give us a call. Contact our office at 828-687-1083. And feel free to call me on my cell phone as well. It's 828-545-9953. I'm the managing broker of our office, and we'll be happy to help you. Okay, thanks, and happy buying. Talk to you later.